I'm just going to quickly look at my notes. So I guess to make it to what you want to get to, you have to really overcome challenges, and the challenges will always be there. For example, in my career, I am female, I'm younger, I'm dyslexic, English isn't my first language, and I'm working for an English broadcaster. There are just so many challenges. But and I studied architecture, I didn't even study journalism. But I thought, I know I want to do this, and I will make it happen. So I taught myself how to film, I taught myself how to edit, I taught myself how to produce, how to present. I taught myself how to do every single thing and got really good at them, so that no one can tell me you can't do something. So if I want to do something, I'm so familiar with every single part that no one can give me an opportunity and no one can take it away from me. I make it happen. Not because I'm special. There are people who are more talented than me, who are so much prettier than me, who have connections, who have come from money. I don't. But I believe in myself. And I think to make something, you have to believe in yourself. And that's the best way to overcome challenges. Now let me show you another video from a film I made recently.
belki nesbeten belki ders نداشت belki دیپلم نداشت belki سر نداشت دقیقا همین منطق بود همه دیدم.
اینجا نماز میخونی چرا جای دیگه نمیری که حداقل این صبر برات راحت تر باشه؟
چون اینجا بوی حسین منه. این حسین دوستش اینجا.
These people have to live with this every day. This guy comes here every day because this place smells like his brother. And the sad part is, I'm sorry. This is nothing. This is just something that happens all the time to everyone here. And it's just a really normal reality.
Now here, I'm crying not just because I'm sad about seeing and hearing a very sad story. Here, literally 10, 15 minutes before this, I had just missed a suicide attack. This is a project I did in Afghanistan where I was focusing on intangible effects of war on people's mental health. So I went to the country's only secure psychiatric institute. I spoke to people who are suffering from PTSD. I mean, this is a country that's been at war for almost 40 years. And I was interviewing this girl in a building, and my security advisor was like, Sahal, we gotta go. And I was like, no, go away, I'm not done. And it was like, we have to go. And then I'm just like really angry, and we get in the car, and I'm just sitting there huffing and puffing. And literally 5 minutes after we leave, before I went to that mosque, we got a phone call, and that building had been exploded. There was a suicide attack, and 12 people died in that building. During that trip, and many other trips I've been to, many other stories, you hear so many sad things, and you're really putting your life in danger. I mean, I've been to war zones, I've been to hostile environments, I've been to places with wild animals. I got chased by a bear once. You can see the scars on my legs. I had to have operations. But the reason I keep going on, and I think the reason anyone would go on despite all these things that keep happening, because it's not nice, is to have a strong enough reason to do it, is to want something so much bigger than the problems that you're facing when you're doing this. Mine is to tell untold stories and give a voice to people who don't have it, so that I can make the world care. That is, I feel like that's my purpose in life. I feel like if I wasn't doing that, then I'm not me, then my life isn't worth living anymore. And when you think that way, when you think that you have the power to really make the world care, then, I don't know, explosions, things happening, bears chasing you, having to touch corpses, things just don't matter anymore. And I think it's really important to really find that passion, that voice inside of you, that fire inside of you. I got inspired to have this passion because of a young girl. I'm going to very quickly tell you her story. She comes from a very privileged background, and she had a nice, normal life. Then one day, they take her dad away. The police comes in, takes her dad, and she's really scared. The next morning, her mother wakes her up for school, but instead of actually going to school, she gets taken to the airport. That was the start of several years of living in refugee camps around the world, getting smuggled from border to border from different countries, sleeping on the streets. But she kept going on. She was invisible, but she had no choice but to fight. That girl was me. We eventually came to the UK. I was granted asylum. But years of living in refugee camps, years of living on the streets, getting smuggled, not going to schools, having basic things taken away from me, gave me a real perspective, gave me a reason to want to be a voice to people who are in the situation I was once in. Every time I interview someone, I feel like I'm interviewing that little Saha. Every time I'm helping someone's story be told, and when I feel like it's being heard and possibly making a difference, I feel like I'm helping that little girl. So I think if everybody found that person they care about inside of them, that reason, then it's just so much easier you will just know what to do with your projects. You just don't even have to think. It just comes to you naturally because nothing else matters anymore. I'll show you a bunch of other stories.